It looked like you were about to put your hair back, take off your earrings, and beat my ass. That's what it looked like when I said that.
She's literally wearing hoops. She can be like, hold my hoops.
It's great. I love it. Okay. We have a story from Disney World here, Mally, which I'm sorry, this is Disneyland, but
oh goodness gracious. Those are across the country. Let's know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but they kind of look the same when you go in them. I understand the difference between the two. I understand the difference. I get it, right?
Oh, no, you pissed her off.
This is Disneyland, you heathen. I'm the one. This is my topic.
Disneyland. Let's just be real. Can I tell you about my first time going to Disneyland?
No, because the reason that you know that these are different is because Disneyland is the one having the celebration right now, not Disney World. It's literally the 70th anniversary of this park, not that one. That one was opened in like 20 years later.
I lost interest in celebrating what Disney's.
But we know you turned off your brain.
Well, let me just say this. I turned off my brain when I went to Disneyland.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mally.
I did. I turned off my brain when I went to Disneyland because I went down the main street and I thought that's it? Because I expected the castle to be much bigger, right?
Did you really? In little freaking LA in 1955? You expected that castle to be bigger? Well, that's unfortunate. You clearly have a misconstrued perspective of size.
Well, yes, because I've been to Disney World before.
Where they have all the space!
Yes, it's spectacular.
Look,
it truly is.
Listen. I was not prepared to have the size doesn't matter debate today, but I will throw down.
Okay, sounds good. Disneyland, let's see how pissed off we can make Mally. Disneyland is a rinky-dink crackerjack park compared to Disney World.
Craig, we're gonna have beef.
We need like a fighting thing.
You don't even know.
I do, because I've been to both. And
then you must know that Disney World's food is shit and their character interactions are also pissy.
That's fine. I'm speaking strictly from whatever. It doesn't even matter. What does matter, though, is apparently there are some issues with some new designs going on at Disneyland, which I wanted to get your thoughts on. So what are we looking at here, first and foremost?
Okay, so Disneyland in California is celebrating the 70th anniversary of Disneyland, the park, because they opened in 1955, July 17, 1955. And so 70 years ago, the park opened, right? And so this is in the Esplanade, which is the part between the parks. Is a little just decoration that they have for the 70th anniversary. And he's zoomed in right now. He's extremely zoomed in to the details of this display in the middle, and all of the little points are supposed to represent the different points of the park and the different icons. And if anybody looks at that, they know that's the partner statue. That's the statue that sits in the middle of the park, and it has since it was open, of Walt holding Mickey's hand. That's a very iconic thing. Everyone shows it. Well, the beef about this is that Lefties, and we all know it's the locals to LA, because this was up for literally less than 24 hours after people pointed out the issue. It says it in the caption of this video. It was up for a couple of days. So we know it was the loony lefty liberal locals of LA that had a problem with this. Anyways, this is the before, and then the other one is the after. So this is what it originally looked like, and this is what it looks like now. And basically they were mad because this tiny piece of metal, I'm like not kidding, it's probably like the size of my hand, like it's tiny, it's a little like wind thing, at the top of a giant display, somewhat kind of sort of resembled Donald Trump because of the hairpiece. And they were mad because he's pointing with one finger and not two. So Disney, within literal days, went out of their way to go and make sure this bore a more striking resemblance to Walt. And that was the big issue.
The fact that Disney was so quick to turn this around too, like, really says a lot about them. So
I have a video coming out about that soon, but I find it so funny that a tiny, I'm losing my shit about this, because tiny piece of metal on top of a display that does nothing outside of the park, they managed to change that in days. But they can't do anything about the fact that people are livid about Muppet Courtyard in Disney World. People are livid about them getting rid of the Rivers of America in favor of a stupid Cars attraction. I mean, people have been complaining about the reservation system, about all of the pricings, everything. Oh, but this metal sign, that's the one that gets the attention. Yeah.
So
Okay.
hold on. I want to put this in perspective, right? This is super zoomed in. This is how you see it.
Yeah.
Like,
In
it's
the
like-
walls are down. Yeah.
yeah, it's like way the fuck out of nowhere. Like, and the only way you could potentially even think about it is if you zoom in.
Yeah.
And people are freaking out that it even has the like. I don't think anybody. You have to be really deranged to look at that and be like, that looks like Donald Trump.
100%. They have reached a new level of manic.
Look at this. Walt has arrived.
That sent me. I was like, what the? Really? Really?
Unreal. Yes. Oh, yes. Trivia tidbits. That's silly. There we
Yeah, I
go.
reposted that one. That one's funny.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So yes, the tiniest little piece of hair right here. Orange man bad. You said, go ahead, Mal. You can read that in your voice.
Yeah. For the record, Walt was patriotic as fuck, so he likely would have liked Donald Trump if he was alive today, but that's not something that any of the liberal Disney adults are ready to talk about yet.
That's right. So just another day in Disney here, huh, Mally?
I'm so glad that I only have one more trip. I'm going next week because this Friday is the official launch of the 70th anniversary, and so they're doing all kinds of like new parades and things and merchandise, and I'm gonna go collect some of it. They're doing some retro merchandise, so they're actually throwing it all the way back to the 1950s. Like they're selling copies of the paper hats and stuff, and it's like it's cute because it's not just new Pride shit. And they actually just did a 4th of July collaboration with Old Navy, so it looks like they actually do remember that America is the country that they are mainly in. But yeah, I'm so ready to be done. I'm so ready to be done.
Okay. Well, maybe when you're walking around Disneyland, maybe the plus size park hoppers will be joining you in there. Now they're primarily based in Florida, but they've been out and about. And I don't know. I mean, we always love the Disney adults, and here they are, the plus size park hoppers going crazy. Let's check out their latest work. We're gonna go turn this down a little bit here, but
Okay, that
look
one
at
looks
them go.
pretty Fazbear, and that one looks like a minion. So
Oh, is that what they're doing here? Are they cosplaying as the?
I think they're Disney bounding. Yeah.
Okay. So what
They
they're
look
doing,
like they smell
I
really
see.
bad.
Oh, they're trying to dress like the Muppets. That's what they're trying to do. You
Oh,
have
okay, Miss Piggy. Oh, okay, I see it now. Okay.
Okay.
She's
I guess.
Porky.
Right. Like the irony of all this is just pretty amazing. Kongman, who's been on the show many times, is a genuine question. If they step so many days walking around Disney, how is it that they're still fat?
And mopeds.
I've been asking myself that too, especially if they main in Florida. And you want to know what's funny? Because I frequent the California park. I know it's not a ton of the obese people. All the obese people in the California one are too lazy to walk. They're on scooters. All the people you see walking around at Disney are, within relative fitness, or that word has been stretched nowadays, but still, they're not that. The fact that people who look like that, who are morbidly obese, and that is the definition of that, the fact that they are in Florida, the bigger park with far more walking space, is astonishing. But you know that they eat twice their weight in the food there, the severely unhealthy park food. It's not like any amount of walking is going to fix that.
Part of me is like, hey, they're just having a good time. And then the other part of me is like, get a fucking job. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being just good old stick in the mud. Maybe that's what I am, a big old stick in the mud. Or maybe I'm just an adult with responsibilities and things like that, and not stuck in Arrested Development. But hey, they're doing pretty good for themselves. 113,000 followers for themselves over on Instagram here. Blabs, you posted this. Look at those wonderful adventures.
Yikes.
Such a good time.
They
I'm
look
sorry,
like they
that
smell.
pisses me off. That pisses me off. Size inclusive Disney tips.
Mhm.
Fuck you guys. Fuck
Mhm.
you guys for making a temporary aspect of your humanity an entire facet of your personality. Fuck you guys for making your fatness or your weight in general seem like it has to be a factor in how you go to theme parks. Like, no, you have complete control over your weight. Don't act like that's the theme park's fault or anybody else's fault besides you and your big mouth. Okay?
No way! You have to see this. I found their link trees right there in the description. I found their link tree. They're on Cameo, so they think they're big enough for fucking Cameo. But the best thing is, if you scroll all the way down, Gold Mobility Scooters.
Oh no!
Scooter rental near Disney World theme parks.
They're getting kickbacks from the scooter companies. Oh my gosh, that's spectacular! Wow.
Love it.
Y'all know that the scooters are like paid rentals, right? Like, you don't have to prove anything to get a scooter anywhere. You just walk up and get one. That's
it's
bullshit.
Like $75 or whatever at Universal.
Yeah.
They have an affiliate deal with the scooters. That's amazing.
That's wild. Wild.
This is a legit question, Blabs. You posted this over on X, and Eat My Shorts over here says, if one of them decides to lose weight, do they get kicked out of the group?
It's so true. It's like they can't sit with us anymore. They're skinny. They're not part of it. The squad anymore. But they look like they smell so bad, right? Like, ugh.
Yeah. Imagine romanticizing obesity and shitting on people who want to be healthy and live a longer life.
What?
Like, there's this one video on their Instagram account where like they're showing off. Like, I'm just gonna like let it play. I don't even have the sound on. But like, this is not appropriate for Disney. No, nobody wants to see that. Ew.
Steph, bro, what you doing? No thanks, bro. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Blabs.
You're welcome. Anytime,
question:
man.
What smells better? Which is better? This portion of the park where they're standing here, the gravy that's dripping out of them, or the KFC gravy ice cream? Which one?
Ew! That's vile.
I'll still take the ice cream.
Oh my gosh! All right. Snooty says, was late to the show. Rumble chat censored is greater than censored tube chat. Side scroll for the win. Thank you so much, Snooty. John says, Mally says size doesn't matter. I'm on team Mally. Anthony says, wow, Craig, way to size queen. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate that. Dirtus King says, cried size queening the theme parks was not on my menu today. I wonder when the Mouse of Spades tattoo will be seen. But I'm a Floridian nationalist, so I support Disney World over Disneyland. There you go, Dirtus.
Okay, you're allowed to be wrong.
Market Reality says, earthquake! Red Bandana Gamer says, now I know why the ground was creaking. Yeah, just relax, y'all. Ridiculous. Jimmy says, I know someone who would rent the Disney scooters so the fatties would have to walk.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I would fucking do that.
Love it. Marius says, well, Gandalf does come back from the dead, and Dumbledore does not. So, speaking of the
okay, well,
Gandalf,
that by itself makes Gandalf a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, we see all your super chats, including Tenarian's Direct Donation says, if I was cheated on, I wouldn't make a scene. I'd kick her out on her ass and elbows and move on with my life. I'd be annoyed that I wasted precious time on a cheater, but that's all. Unless it happened in my house. Then heads would roll. There you go, Tenarian. Well, you are a nicer guy than me, for sure. Regina came in and says, talking about the firefighter. If you guys missed that, scroll back a little bit and check that out. He says he kissed her like Michael kissed Frito. There you go. That's right, from Godfather. Rary says, I mean, their people would love Henry VIII, the King of England, who killed all his wives and was rotunded. But I bet they would have loved to join the group. Thank you, Rary. Appreciate that.
Probably.
All right, let's keep on moving on. Once again, we got more Disney here. I know. Look, you guys, when Mally's on, we try to Disney-fy things up, and I will continue to let her know that Disney World is better than Disneyland, but that's okay. Mally, somebody said this in the chat. It looked like you were about to put your hair back, take off your earrings, and beat my ass. That's what it looked like when I said that.
She's literally wearing hoops. She can be like, hold my hoops.
It's great. I love it. All right, one last thing from Disney here. This guy shows off how much it cost for a day at Disney for a family at 5. Now, this is Disney World. Let's play the Price is Right game. Blabs, have you seen the total cost of this?
I have. I cannot participate.
Okay, Mally, you're a Disney professional. How much for a family of 5 to go to Disney World for one day?
So I hate to tell you, I've already seen this video, and I actually
Okay.
made a
Chat?
reaction video to it because I had so many things to say about it. So I know what the total is.
Okay.
And he is really wrong.
Well, let's see what's going on. Really wrong as far as his price here?
As far as what his choices were.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Here's what a day at Disney cost me for a family of 5. Before we even got into the park, it cost me $30 just for parking. And even being a Florida resident, tickets for a family of 5 with one child under 10 was still $974. Paying for the Lightning Lane was $35 per person and only would have given us speed access to 3 rides, so we opted out of that. Right after our first ride, we bought 2 waters and 3 ice creams. This totaled $29.50. After the second ride, they wanted a pretzel and I wanted a beer. This was another $19. This guy right here wanted a lightsaber for $44.99, but I was a hard no. After that, it was time for lunch, so we went to the Brown Derby where we could sit down for a little bit and order a decent meal. They didn't like the options and the prices were outrageous, so we left and went somewhere else. We each ended up with a small pizza, each had a side and a small drink, totaling $44.30.
I feel like we're going to get hit for
After lunch,
copyright
we took
with the
off,
Frozen
waiting
music.
more lines, and we also met a few characters along the way. Once we got to Star Wars Land, we had to buy some blue milk for $10.29. It tasted like a slushie with nerds on top. We took a few minutes to meet Kylo Ren.
Your courage will be tested and rewarded.
The kids then snuck away and bought some Star Wars Coca-Cola. This was $6.50.
Jesus
But this
Christ.
guy said it was worth it. After the next ride, we went and had a churro, a water, and a margarita. It had been a long day at this point. That margarita was well needed. This was another $36. And just as I thought the day was finally over, the rest of the family decided they wanted to go to dinner at downtown Disney Springs. This place was my literal hell. It was shoulder to shoulder in every store and restaurant. We ended up at the Formata Cocina for some Mexican food. $30 for carnitas, $19 margarita, $8 corn, $30 carne asada, and then each of the kids with drinks and food were an additional $30 to $40 each.
Okay, so this is
Wow.
where we're at right now.
It's so crazy.
Okay, I think he's about to unveil the price here. So, Mally, you said he's done things wrong at this point. Do you want to get into that, or should we show the price first?
Let's show the price first.
Okay.
Totaling $245.27 for dinner. There was some sticker shock here, and right after that, they all wanted to go shop. Luckily, it was getting late, and we decided to not go into any stores. The grand total for our day was $1,391.91.
Oof. $1,391.91.
For one day.
Yes, for a family of 5 at Disney World. Holy schmucks. Mally, what did he do wrong here? And guide all the normal men who are thinking about going to Disney World.
Man, I mean, I could go from the top and I could go in detail. I'm going to try to keep it as a rough estimate, though. Basically, what this guy did is he went about it in like a very lazy way. And he made a lot of comments that told me he was not paying attention. So he said, well, even though we're Florida residents, we didn't get a discount. No, even as a California resident, I don't get a discount either. You have to live in a certain zip code. You have to live close enough to the parks for them to consider you a local. Then you get that kind of a discount. Another thing he said is he didn't even mention this, but it was just a facet of it. None of that price includes his travel fees, his hotel, or to get into any of the other parks. Just so we're all clear. Disney Springs is free. It's downtown Disney. You can just walk into it.
Yep.
He only took his family of 5 to one of the 4 parks. He took them to Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
So while like $800 or $900 of that was the tickets, he still spent like $500 or $600 just in the parks fucking around. Analyzing that is where I feel like he mainly went wrong. Parking is going to cost you. Tickets are going to cost you. Yep, that's the investment. The park, bro, you did not need to be spending $30 on pretzels, Coke, and water. Especially getting each and every single one of your 5 spawns their own thing. I'm sorry, but that is simply a waste. They're not going to finish that whole Coke bottle by the time it gets warm and they don't want it anymore. Share a bottle with the family, and when it's done, go buy another one. No one said you had to stick to one bottle, but at least don't go buying 5 things at once. Another thing is his beer and margaritas. I'm glad that you felt you needed those $16 alcohols that you very easily could have gotten at home. Or, god damn, be like everyone else and just sneak something into in the park in a water bottle. Like, is it really that bad for you? You know, like if you have to go buying a $12 beer from Disney, did it taste better because of that? There's my take on the food stuff. And as far as them being picky about what they did, his kid was wearing a full suit of armor that won't fit him next year, but he was too stingy to buy a lightsaber. My personal opinion, I would have spent the money on a lightsaber experience because that kid will have that lightsaber forever and remember that versus a outfit that he won't wear any other time in his life, and it won't even fit him in 6 months. So they wasted their money on merch and food that they don't fucking need, and they didn't include any of the actual expenses that most people have to accommodate when they travel to a theme park like that. So I'm glad that he's a Florida, native or local so that he can go, but he spent his money in the worst way possible. So it's no wonder that he spent $1,400 in a single day at a single park with 5 children.
So how do you really feel about his decisions?
Yeah, well, because then that's why people complain that Disney's a lot. And don't get me wrong, I complain Disney's a lot. They upped their annual passes by 30% in the last year alone. That is a huge increase. As somebody who's been going for the last 20 years, I can say it's a huge increase. But if you're going to be the family that goes once every 5 years and say, Disney's so expensive, and then you're going to spend like that, no, I don't feel bad for you. Yeah, Disney's expensive. Get better at it. Don't buy the Lightning Lane. Don't buy the Genie Plus. Watch the wait times so that you can just go around to the rides at the time that they're available. I had someone ask me that recently. Well, don't you ever do Genie Plus? No, fuck no. I have been on a strike since they got rid of Fast Passes. I have never bought Genie Plus or Lightning Lane, and I never will. Because it is a complete waste. Watch the wait times. Move around the park at a pace that's actually, smart and stay ahead of the crowds. You don't have to go on Rise of the Resistance at 3 p.m. when everybody feels like they have to. That's a waste. Like, budget your time. Come on, people. Don't act like it's the park's fault just because you don't know how to spend your time or money. There's my take.
Subscribe to Mally for like tips and tricks at Disney.
I've never been one of those like, let me plan your trip. But I have also been one of the people that's like hardcore judging the people that poorly plan their trips, because they're the people that want to strike on Disney and say, oh, you're spending too much money. Well, no, you spend your money on what it's worth.
So
I don't spend $35 on ears. I buy my ears from China.
So when you say like you can sneak in like drinks in a water bottle, don't they check it like security when you enter the parks? You can actually bring a canteen, like a water bottle canteen with you. I don't want to get detailed about it, out my own secrets and all, but basically the thing with the security system, and I knew people that did that. I don't drink enough. I don't care about drinking to sneak drinks into the park. Let me be perfectly clear to everyone listening. Oh, Melly drink. No, I don't care about alcohol. Spicy Saturdays are my thing. But anyways, the security at Disneyland, California particularly is extremely hit and miss. Only in the last year, they actually updated their security system to where you cannot touch your bag again after it's been checked. But up until that, you could just sneak shit into the park because they weren't full security enough. They have very recently updated it. But even now, they are not uniform enough with their protocol with their park security, because there will be one guy that checks you, really, really thoroughly and takes up your time and is almost a little annoying because he roughs up your whole bag kind of thing. And then there will be a guy who's just like, I trust you. And lets you through. And so it's very, very inconsistent. The more you know. Look at that.
There you go. All right,
Don't know if it's like that at Disney World. I'm not a Disney World pro.
Well, we know that you won't be spending $1,400 for a family of 5 to go to Disney World anytime soon. That's right. Disney, you should be giving tips for Disney to slender-bodied people instead of fat people like the Disney fat people. So
yeah, I should make a skinny Disney bitches page.
there you go. I like that. Disney
you
skinny
actually
bitches.
should see what happens. See if Instagram takes you down.
I will.